Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I am Ashley. I'm a homeschooling mom with 7 kiddos. Okay, so I just did a video on the Good and the Beautiful preschool, the new curriculum that they have come out with, that they replaced their pre-K curriculum with. The other one that I wanted to do a flip through on that I went ahead and bought as well was the Level K primer. Now this one has not changed from, if you have used this, I'm pretty sure this is the original one, although we've only been using the Good and Beautiful for a few years, so which I think is about the time they've been around. So I think this is the original one. However, it says on their website that they are going to be releasing a newer one. I want to say it's the beginning to middle of next year. So be on the lookout for that. But I wanted to do a flip through on the Level K primer. I will link my video that talks about my kindergartner, and I will also link my video that I did, which will go up before this one, a flip through and review on the new preschool curriculum that they have, that they just came out with, that replaced their older one. So we started that. My kindergartner is refreshing, is kind of refreshing his alphabet skills. He is kind of back and forth with what he remembers alphabet wise and sounds and things like that. He knows a majority of them, but there's a handful that he does not. It just doesn't click with him. And so I went ahead and bought the preschool curriculum that I'm going to use for him first, that I'm also using simultaneously for my 3.5-year-old, who is not quite preschool, but is starting to learn those concepts. And so I'm using those with them together, and we're kind of flying through the first part that he knows the letters and all of that. But after he's done with that, I am going to be doing the Level K primer with him. I originally bought, which I will also link my kindergarten curriculum video, but keep in mind that what I mentioned on there about using the Level K Good and the Beautiful, I have not using that this year, at least not until he gets to that point. It is a level above what he is comfortable with, and so we are not using that right now. Instead, we are focusing on the letters and focusing on the sounds, and to get him ready for reading. In the Level K, it is the start to reading is there, and he is not at that point yet at all. So my plan is to kind of go through the preschool curriculum rather quickly for him. You know, if there's something that we need to stop at and go through, I just want to reinforce those basics and make sure he knows all of those before we move on to this. But I bought this because I knew I was going to be using it at some point, and I'm not quite sure how quickly we're going to get through the preschool one. There is 90 lessons in the preschool one. So it's not going to be like tomorrow, but I wanted to have this on hand in case, you know, we finish quickly. So just as a side note, there are quite a few things in this Level K primer curriculum that he could do. He traces very well, he colors very well, he knows his colors, he knows his numbers, he knows a majority of the letters, but there are quite a few that he does not, just can't grasp. And so I didn't want to do this with him and not be able to fill in those gaps. So that's why I'm starting with the preschool one and starting easier, and making sure that he masters all of that first. It will tell you at the beginning of this, if I can go to it. Now there is an assessment on their website. So you can go on there and say, you know, look at what does my child know? What does, you know, kind of place them in the correct level, because that's the last thing you want to do. I have struggled with that already this year, placing them at a level that you think that they are at. And because the Good and the Beautiful, I believe, is higher than a lot of other curriculums, and definitely public school, it kind of was challenging to kind of get to that sweet spot of where my kiddo should be. 2 of them actually. So it'll tell you though, when should my child start this course? When he or she can sing or say most of the alphabet with or without the help of a parent. He or she knows the majority of letters and their sounds, but has not mastered all of them. They can count to 10. They know their basic shapes and colors. So my kindergartner knows the majority of this, but again, I would rather start below and work our way up and be confident that he can do this easily. So that is what we're doing. It says here in the beginning, children are not expected to master any of the principles taught in this course except for instantly recognizing all the letters and their sounds, which is something he cannot do. This course is an introduction to reading and principles such as long vowels. If a child is getting frustrated with a principle, don't push it, simply slow down or move on. All principles taught in this course are reviewed and taught in greater depth in the Level K course. So it's just kind of like a Level K primer, like a kinder bridge, where you will be reinforcing those things in kindergarten, but in the Level K curriculum, but this will be kind of the base. So the lessons are pretty straightforward, a page, 2 pages. There is not a lot of, this is letter A, it says that kind of thing. They're expected to know that. Now it does kind of go over it in relation to like pronouncing words. So, you're learning A and you're reinforcing A and T. So putting those together is at. So it quickly, it masters those rather quickly, and the kid's kind of expected to know that. So that was where we had the issue with. But that is what this is. Either circle or place something on the uppercase A's, and then say the sound of the letter as you're putting, as you're circling it, or you're putting something on top of it. Tracing, they have here, which just kind of handwriting. You can never go wrong with handwriting. So I'm all for that, for tracing. Saying the name of the images in the box, and does it start with A or T? So this does not go in alphabetical order. It's just, like I said, kind of a reinforcement of what they would already know. It talks about vowels, and then you go to letter C. So you're adding letter C so that you can spell cat. More tracing. This has about, this has 33 lessons. So this is not a year-long curriculum. This is kind of in between, which is why I like this, because it's going to let me know that my kiddo can move forward after doing the preschool curriculum, and that just easier than if we had just jumped right into this, which I don't think we could have done completely. Then we go to our, A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y vowels we go through. More tracing. It's very simple and very just, like I said, straight to the point. There are no games. There's, little things mixed in here, but there's no like game pieces like the preschool curriculum has. Like for lesson 8, you have words that you're going to start sounding out, separating the letter sounds and making them into words. And same thing here. And little manipulatives like, to place on here, it says like 20 buttons. Well, you could use, Lego blocks, or you could use whatever the heck you wanted to use. You don't have to necessarily use what they tell you. So, numbers here, 11 to 15, pointing to the number. My kindergartner can count pretty high, but sometimes recognizing them just like the letters is sometimes difficult for him. So again, I think he would have struggled here as well. Tracing, but then also writing it themselves here. The B and the D confusion that a lot of kids have, they will go over. More tracing, and they will mix in the uppercase and the lowercase here. Drawing lines from the uppercase to the lowercase, matching them. And it goes on, and you will have some connect the dots and then coloring the picture. And then they will start kind of writing words and recognizing words that go with that particular letter that they're working with. Some cut and paste also to finish out those words, are something that you would read to the child, it says, but obviously they're going to sit there and they're going to see what you're reading so they can get used to those words. And let's see here, write and read. Have the child trace the letter for each word and then read the word. So towards the end, they will start sounding out these words and recognizing these words. So again, a little beyond what the preschool does, but write and read. So they will do sometimes the beginning letter, sometimes the middle letter, sometimes the end, sometimes the beginning and end letter. Sorting. So you will be doing short and long vowels in here. And so you will be sorting, you know, cut out the pictures here and sort which one is long and which ones have short vowels in there. And it will tell you, so towards the end, you will read like a sentence and it says to circle which one is true. So they will read the sentence and then circle which one is true based on the picture that's shown. And at the end, it just kind of goes over when you're done with the course, does the child know every letter and sound? Make sure that they know every letter and sound and they mix it up here so that it's not like, you know, they just know it because it's the alphabet song, you know. So that helps to mix these things up. And I will do that with my kindergartner. I will point to certain things, letters randomly, not in any particular order, and see if he knows it, not just because it's in the same order that he knows, but because he knows the letters. So they only need to know the most common sound of each letter before starting level K. So that is that. And then it also comes with, which it will instruct you, my first reading book, Level K Primer, this little bitty book here. And it will instruct you when to use it. Very simple 2 and 3 word sentences. And it comes with a few little stories in here. So this is for practice too. And they have on their website a boxed set of books that actually work well with this one, with this course, as well as the kindergarten or level K. I keep saying kindergarten because it's not always kindergarten. Level K course that you can use. So that's just a quick flip through of the Level K primer. I plan to use that directly after. I'm not going to wait till the end of the year or till next school year. I'm going to just see how he does after the preschool one and just go straight into this so that hopefully when he starts first grade next year, we can go to the Level K like my first grader is doing now, because that seems to be the sweet spot that is working so far. And so I've been like thankful that I finally figured that out. I don't want to say finally because it's only been a couple months, but that I figured that out early enough so that we weren't like halfway through the year and like, oh my gosh, they're really struggling. So let me know if you have any questions. If you have used this before, let me know if you like it. I will also link the video for the preschool course that I just did. I flipped through on that as well. All right, guys, I will see you next time. Take care.